YouTube, Greg here, or G Master Ball rather, and I'm bringing you my very first video on this channel, which is a countdown video. Now, this is my very first countdown video I've done, like, ever. So I hope you guys enjoy it. And today's segment is going to be on the top 5 Pokemon regions that were my favorite. Now, just remember that these are my favorite, not yours. Go. And I'm not gonna include the Kalos region because I haven't played the Kalos region yet because X and Y, as of this video, hasn't come out yet. So yeah, why not we get started with number 5.
The Sinnoh region. Now, I don't necessarily hate the Sinnoh region, except for the fact that the freaking anime took forever to end. Like, seriously? 4 years of this shit? Like, come on.
The Sinnoh region also had its good sides, like the Pokemon that inhabited the Sinnoh region, which were evolutions of Pokemon from Kanto, Johto, and Hoenn. Pretty good. The games were also good, too. I absolutely loved playing through Pokemon Diamond and Pearl back in my middle school days. Now, Platinum was even better because, in my opinion, Platinum was in a category of its own. It was a great game by itself. Like, I absolutely loved playing through Pokemon Platinum. But with its great legendaries, myths, overrated champion that keeps popping up in every single game right now, and its overrated fire starter, I have to say that the Sinnoh region was pretty good. But, however, it is not the number 1 in my top 5 favorite regions. It is, sadly, number 5. Please don't bash me for this, guys. The Unova region from Pokemon Black and White. Now, this was hard for me to put in my number 4 because there were some things I liked about Unova more than I did Sinnoh. Like the Pokédex, for example. The Pokédex looked just like the iPod, and it was based off of the iPod, in case you guys didn't know. Another thing I liked about the Unova region was its interesting characters. Unova had a lot of interesting characters and a lot of interesting gym leaders. One of the interesting characters being N, the badass of all Pokemon, with its annoying rivals, one being cool and one being annoying, and its sexually frustrated Pokemon liberators. Not to mention their man-eating ice dragon type legendary Pokemon and their frozen dairy treats. The Unova region is number 4 on my favorite generation. Kanto. Now, it was physically painful, literally physically painful for me to put Kanto as number 3 on my list. I mean, I know they have a great variety of Pokemon. They were the original Pokemon. Not to mention they also had a badass protagonist, aka Red. The one thing I didn't really like about the Kanto region was because it didn't have a long storyline. I mean, all you have to do is just get the 8 badges, go to the league, and there you go. Like, you also have the opportunity to catch Mewtwo and see all the other Pokemon after the game, but Professor Oak would just be like, oh, you saw all 150 Pokemon? That's great. Who cares? Fuck you! Hoenn. Yeah, I know. Why isn't this number 1, Greg? You did make Ruby and Sapphire remake hit videos on your last channel. Yeah, I know. Well, Hoenn is number 2 on my list. This region changed the games completely. This was the first game that introduced natures. And on top of that, it was the very first game to introduce special defense. Also, it was the first game to have a main character who had a father. Now, all the other characters' dads were deadbeats. But as much as I hate to say it, and your father on this game was also the gym leader, which was awesome. Another good feature about 3rd generation was the secret base feature, which allowed you to create a secret base. Now, 4th gen had this too, but it wasn't as good. But the secret base feature was just awesome. I mean, who does not remember
the secret base feature. Please, X and Y, please do it for me. Secret base feature comes back. Please. Pokemon regions were all special in their own way. There were some good things about the regions, there were some bad things about the regions, but overall, in my opinion, all of them are good. Now, for my number one favorite Pokemon region / generation. I'm pretty sure you guys know what it is, if you haven't figured it out yet. If you haven't figured it out yet, go kill yourself. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, without further ado, here is number one. Johto. Now, Johto is my favorite region because it was the very first one I've ever played, and I just love the Johto region. Unlike all the other regions, Johto had like a more cultural vibe to it. You know what I mean? Like, it seemed like it was more Japanese than the other regions. Like, it's awesome. It was a great region. It had a long ass storyline. And on top of that, it had great starters. I always loved Totodile and Cyndaquil. I don't know about Chikorita, but they had great starters. And I think that people have a problem with when the Johto region is that there wasn't a lot of Pokemon in the Johto region. There was only 100 Pokemon. Okay, first of all, who gives a fuck? Johto region was just awesome. Like, all the Johto Pokemon were great. Like, what else could I fucking say? Like, the Johto region was that damn good. It didn't have a lot of Pokemon, but it was great. Not to mention that you had the opportunity to battle the Kanto gym leaders and like go back to the Kanto region and fight them. I'm giving you a total of 16 badges. 16 badges. Longest storyline ever. And on top of that, it had great legendaries like the dogs. Yes, guys, they're dogs. I know Raikou is like a fucking cat, but they're dogs. And you had Celebi, Ho, and Lugia, and you had this badass rival who would just be like, hey, Professor Elm, I'm gonna take your Pokemon, so yeah, fuck you, I'm out of here. Like, Johto is literally my favorite region of all time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the countdown of my favorite Pokemon regions / generations. Now, I hope you guys really enjoyed that because I worked my ass off on this video. I'm starting to like use iMovie. I'm like real new to it at the time, so I really try my best to make this video as like cool as possible. But anyway, share your thoughts. Tell me what your favorite Pokemon regions are and why. And remember that this countdown that you guys saw was my countdown, not yours. If you got a problem with it, oh well. Anyway, I'm G Master Ball, and stay tuned for more of my upcoming videos. I will definitely be doing more of these countdowns along with Pokemon X and Y stuff. And like, comment, subscribe, you know the drill. And yeah, have a good day, everyone.